Hello and welcome to the Country Music and Social Media Sessions. Today we're joined by the wonderful Helena Mace. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? It's lovely to see you.
Yeah, really good to be honest. And I'm really quite excited to do this. So I think the first question is, how does it feel having done, 6 or 7 sessions to be on the other side of the camera, as it were?
It's quite weird actually, because I feel like I should ask you some questions.
Right, okay. So I thought I'd start really by talking to you. I think the first time that we got in touch, you were about to you were about to release Unbroken.
Yes.
And I think we were very early on in our country sort of journey. And so you let us know about Unbroken, and we bought the album, and happily got to number 1, didn't it? So I'd like to know just a little bit about how it came about, what was the inspiration behind it, and how did you put it together? You know, what's the thought process in building an album?
It's I actually started the album a couple of years prior to that, because I'd released Hometown from it, which is, I got the inspiration when I was just walking along the beach. I come back from Greece and I was walking along my own beach. At the end of our road, we've got a lovely beach, and I was thinking, this is our hometown. You know, it's lovely here. It's all very well going away, but coming back to everything that's familiar. So I wrote a song about that, and I thought, okay, well, I'll release that as a single. And then, you know, it's like when you start writing, it's like all more stuff comes out. So I wrote Save It for Another Day, which charted as well. And it all sort of started from trying to just stem all experiences I had coming home from holiday. Save It for Another Day was about kind of my dad and his friends are also musicians. It's like old musicians. It used to be something back in the day. And it built up and built up. And then I got poorly. So I wrote Unbroken, just the title single from that. And it kind of stemmed from there. And the whole thing is about just home surroundings and people that are close to you, things that are close to you. And Unbroken being the ultimate title, because it was saying, whatever I go through, it's not going to break me.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you about that, if you don't mind. And obviously, we know that you've been through quite a lot, and you appear a very positive person, and you deal with things. And I only ever see, I don't see you moaning about stuff. I see you getting on with it. But what's it like? What's it really like, in your own private life? Because how easy is it to stay positive when something like that happens to you?
It can be very difficult. I mean, I think personally that you've just got to accept what's happened and try and deal with it and move on. And sometimes, I mean, I try not to post anything too negative. Because I've got a lot of followers, so I like to be inspirational in a way that, because there's other people going through similar things to I am, and I want to make sure that other people can gain something from what I do, whether it be inspiration, just a day of getting out of bed and just facing the world. Most of the time it's okay. I think when I first was diagnosed, I was lucky that the tumour was benign in my brain. But the first thing you think about, if they got it right, is, or was it wrong? Have they got it right? And it was trying to accept that and then move on. And I thought, well, it could be a lot worse. To write about it, use your experiences to write about it. And yes, it is hard. Sometimes I have bad days. To be honest now, 8 months after therapy, I'm having more good days than bad, and I'm coming through the other side. So I think gaining experience from everything you go through, whether it be a breakup, whether it be an illness, something else that's going on in your life or someone else's, I think you just have to use it to your advantage and just think, well, it could be a lot worse. That's why I say it could be a lot worse.
Well, that is right. It wasn't. I mean, that is quite inspirational, and I think, for me, some of the bad times that I've been through, music has helped me. It's been quite a cathartic experience to actually get those thoughts down, and I guess it must be the same for you.
Yeah, basically, and I think that my Unbroken album was so successful because I drew on more experiences. The first 2 albums I did were kind of a learning curve. And I built it up and up. But Unbroken, it was the most personal stuff I'd ever written. And I think people like that. They like to know more about you, don't they? They like to know all the traumas and the trials and tribulations that you go through, because it makes you human.
Yeah, it does. I think sometimes for me, it can be quite difficult sharing those experiences. For you, is that something that you're quite happy to do, or is it something that you just feel you had to do?
I think it was a bit of both. I like to share because I feel it helped me. Sometimes it's easier to share via songs, via music, or interviews, rather than someone just randomly coming up and asking you about it, or even talking to your own family can be a bit weird, because you also don't want to worry people. So I find to sort of use it, write about it, and use it as a positive experience. But I think it's a good thing to talk, whether it be standing up in front of people or just writing it down. I think it's good you have to talk.
Yeah. And in terms of the album, what were your expectations, and how what did you feel when it got to number 1?
well, firstly, I did not expect it because I'd written it before lockdown. I'd started to write it, but I didn't get it finished. So we went into lockdown. I think it was in March, wasn't it? We went into lockdown last year. And then we came out of it and thought, well, I've got a few songs left to record. Will I get it out in time? So, oh yeah, well, we'll give it a go. So got them out, released it quite quickly. It was actually the week before, I think, I had the radiotherapy. So in that same week, I'd had radiotherapy and then my album got to #1. So it was kind of roller coaster. I didn't get a chance to really enjoy the #1 experience because I was in the hospital like a few days later, but I couldn't believe it. When I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning, you know what it's like, you release a single, I have a little look at the iTunes chart and there it was in black and white. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it, but say it was very quick because I didn't have a real chance to kind of celebrate it. We went back into lockdown. I was in hospital. So, but I can't believe, still to this day, I'm so proud of it. And I'm just so grateful to everybody that kind of drew in, got the experience from it and loved it as well and got it to #1. That was on pre-orders. It got to bestseller on pre-orders alone. So it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, incredible. Okay, can we just go back a little bit in terms of, because I know initially you weren't necessarily just doing country, you were doing lots of other stuff before that. How did you get into, why did you decide country? What was that all about?
I think it's all part of the learning curve and growing up. I did a lot of albums and music previously to my country stuff, and I think it goes back to 2008, where I was signed by a German record label, and I did kind of sort of a Euro kind of rocky kind of stuff, which was a good experience. I toured Germany a few times, had some great fun out there. Then I came back, did some dance music, because my voice was quite good at doing the whole dance kind of stuff. So that was completely different to what I'd done before. Mm-hmm. And it was just, well, I'll give that a go, see how it goes. And then I started gigging. And my gigging is my job. It's completely separate to my original music. I'd sometimes do it with backing tracks, sometimes acoustic. I do hotels and clubs, and it was just something I do as my normal job to make money. Mm. And I think I've always been influenced by country. It was part of my family. My dad was a musician in country bands and rock bands. So it was only a matter of time. But I started watching Nashville, weirdly enough, that TV show. And they were writing some great songs. To be fair, I thought it was going to be awful, but I quite enjoyed it. And I was quite inspired with some of the songs that they'd written. It's sort of more storytelling than rather than just lending your vocals to a dance track. I thought, I'll write a song. And Wash Away the Years was the first song I wrote. And that did really well on radio play. So I was quite pleased because it was the first time I'd ever done anything like that. And from then I kind of just got the bug and I realised it suited what I do. I don't necessarily have a country voice, but I'm influenced by country. It's not country per se. It's a mixture of country, pop, quite melodic kind of stuff that I do. So countries, I think I was just born and raised in that kind of era.
I would say the same. You know, she doesn't feel she's got a country voice, and yet, as you've said, you know, the storytelling is a big part of it, and you do that incredibly well. And as you know, because I did a review for you, you know, Wash Away was your first track, wasn't it? Your first country track? And,
it was.
Definitely my personal favourite.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, should we take a break there and have a song from you?
Yes, I'd love to. I'm going to do a song that I literally just recorded. Went to record it yesterday. As you do. I got it back tonight. Really, really pleased with it, and it's gone off to some radio stations this evening actually. So it's releasing on the 28th. So I thought, well, if I do it now, if it goes wrong, no one's going to know yet, are they?
Great.
So this is called Shifting Sands. Now, because I'm deaf in one ear, I had to take the headphone off slightly. So hopefully it sounds all right on here. Right, Shifting Sands, and it was literally just recorded yesterday.
I'm swimming rivers, broken glasses, living with your memory, a ghost of the past.
Yay, brilliant.
Thank you.
That was fab. Really enjoyed that.
I've actually never played it live before, well, apart from being in the studio.
Yeah, it's quite a surreal experience, isn't it, when you've written something and you play it live for the first time? But it was really good.
Thank you.
Remind us again when it's out.
It's called Shifting Sands. It's out on the 28th of this month, and in iTunes pre-order on the 21st. But it's quite a big production. I wrote it so I could play it acoustically and be nice and stripped back. Mm-hmm. But I've added Matt Black, who's my producer. He does all the piano and the production, and a good friend of mine, Cy Gennaro, has added some amazing harmonica on it. It just sounds. Yeah, it just sounds epic. I'm just really pleased.
We'll look forward to that.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, so you mentioned that gigging is a big part of what you do, and I know because we had this conversation before. I think you gig with is it with your husband as a duet? I'm curious to know what that's like because obviously we, as you know, we're a husband and wife acoustic duo. So how does that work in terms of your relationship, and do you ever get into situations where you fall out, or is it totally harmonious?
No, it's not totally harmonious. I think that would be lying if we said it was. And most of the time, to be fair, we've got the right idea. We know where we want to go with it. And we started off, actually, we met on a karaoke night, believe it or not, several years ago. Yeah. And we're both singing on this karaoke because I should do it for practice, really. And we got together years later. We decided, because we were both doing singing as a gig, we were doing gigs separately because he's a swing singer, actually. He does all the rap kind of stuff and that, Michael Bublé, or I do rock, country and pop. So I thought, well, let's try and put this together. So we started doing some songs as duets. This was with backing tracks to start with. And it got built up because we do like probably about 300-400 songs with backing tracks because you have to have quite a wide range. Yeah. And then we moved on to the acoustic. I play guitar and he does the percussion, cajon, that kind of thing. So it kind of works quite well. So for festivals, we can do the whole acoustic stuff, pub gardens, that kind of things. And then if I need to go into a hotel or social club, it's the old backing tracks. But like I say, that's kind of a job thing. But the acoustic, when we do my originals, I just make him learn all my stuff. He doesn't ever learn it all. He just wings it every time.
Brilliant. Okay, and you seem to be the epitome of if you want to get something done, give it to a busy person, because you manage to achieve so many things so quickly. I know full well that if I'm going to message somebody and I want to reply, I get it from you. And clearly you're very busy doing. I've seen all the stuff you're doing in the gym and the like. And how do you fit it all in?
I don't know. I mean, basically, because I've got a daughter, but she's 15 now, so she kind of just gets on with it. I tend to do a lot of stuff in the morning, so I get my gym out of the way, or running or whatever, and then I sit down and play guitar. I haven't been playing for very long. I only played for a few years, and when I had my radiotherapy, I forgot how to play. So I've had to kind of relearn in the last few months. I just try and just manage my time. Sorry, my cat's joined us.
You've seen it, yeah.
That's Pirate, my rescue cat. So I have to deal with them as well. Yeah, I think it's just a matter of managing time well. But I've always been quite good at that. I used to be a financial advisor, so I had to be under sort of a lot of pressure and getting pressure to deadlines and that kind of thing. So I do my radio show, which I record usually on a Monday or Tuesday for the Fridays, as you know. I do stuff for Ken on country music social media as well. So I just try and do bit by bit, and I think it just happens. I think you just get used to the way you work, and it just works like that. So at the moment, it's just managing my time, getting it all done, and finishing a new album which I'm writing.
Yes. Well, we'll just come back to that in a minute. But you touched on Ken, and obviously this is my opportunity to have an inside view of what it's like working with Ken, because obviously I see it on the other side where he's promoting us. But what's it actually like working with Ken, and in terms of because I obviously have a lot of dealings with Ken, and I see the way that he operates and whatever. How do you actually first of all, how did you get involved, and secondly, what is it like?
Okay, well, I found him because he contacted me on social media quite some years ago. I think it was when Wash Away the Years came out, and sort of said that what he did for a living and what he was doing for country music. So I didn't really think much of it at the time, but I met him in Wolverhampton. I did a songwriters round in Wolverhampton, and I'd literally just learned to play the guitar. I've been playing like 3 weeks, and I just thought I'll just give it a go. I wasn't very good, but I thought I'd give it a go and get my songs out there. So I did that, and I met Ken, and he approached me, and I signed up to him like you have, I signed up to him, and he was doing my social media for me. But then he realised that I was also pretty sort of savvy on social media, plus radio, that kind of thing. So he asked me if I'd do a bit of work just here and there for him, and would I manage help with the Facebook side. So I said, yeah, why not, and did that. Then it built up, so would you take over some of the Instagram accounts? because he didn't know anything about Instagram. And I said, well, I'll give it a go. Yeah, I'll just give it a go. Quite good on it. So that built up. And then before you know it, he's saying, oh, can radio, can you do TV? Can you do this? Can you do Zoom things? And it was, okay, yeah, I'm doing all this stuff because it's good. I feel as an unsigned artist, it's really important to support other unsigned artists because we're all in this together. No one's better than anyone else. We're all in this together and we all need to support each other. And I thought by doing this for Ken, I can help not only build myself up, but other people around me. Hence why we're doing this festival later in the year, so we can meet and we can support each other, buy each other's CDs, that kind of thing. And I think with Ken and the whole process of country music, social media, it's a bit like a little family. Because Ken, I know, does it really for the love of it more than it's a business. It's I mean, he's kind, he's nice. I've met him a few times. His lovely wife Julie, but it's fun. It's really good fun, and it's obviously it works as well. What he does, he's brilliant on on social media side of it, and he knows what he's doing. And I
just wonder what it would be like working for a workaholic.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? He just makes me look lazy.
Well, that would be the thing, wouldn't it? No matter what you do, he's always going to do more, So
yeah, I know. I'm sure he never sleeps as well because I wake up to messages like 4 a.m. But.
Yeah. And the radio thing, I know that you do you do more than one show, or is it a show that gets repeated in different places?
Yeah, well, I started that because I did the TV show for Ken on Hangover Hill TV, and then someone approached me from a radio station that play me, which is Radio Downtown in Canada, and he said, "Well, for love of what you did, would you do a show for us? Just do what you want with it, basically." Okay, that sounds fun. So I did that, and then that goes out on a Friday, and then the following week, the same show goes out on Sounds Country, which is UK based. And that's run by Mike Shepherd, I think, who used to have a BBC show. So it goes out twice. So that's quite fun because I can play my own music. Why wouldn't you? But I can also support other new artists and get them airplay because, as we know, it's so important, especially with all the lockdowns we've had. So we haven't been able to get out and sell CDs. I've got a box of CDs of Unbroken because I haven't been able to get to festivals and to sell them as I normally would. So it's just really important. And the radio show is important to me because I can help myself and others. So.
Yeah. Brilliant. Okay, so you've got the single out at the end of the month, and then I believe that you are moving on to, is it an album or an EP?
I'm doing another album. I didn't think I was going to because I did 2 last year because I did Unbroken and the Christmas one, didn't I? So I thought, shall I do another album? I've got no idea when it's going to be released, but I've already recorded Shifting Sounds, and I've also recorded another album track, which was actually written by my dad, who's written a couple of the songs on my album. So recorded that one yesterday, which is quite a classical kind of piece. So it's completely like, whoa, it's on the album. It's going to be like, well, that's different. But
it must be great, obviously, to get involved with, with one of your parents and have them as part of the collaboration.
Yeah, it is, because he's been writing since before I was born. And on Wash Away the Years, that album, there's a song called Moon Goddess, which he wrote a few years before I was born. And then on the Chasing Dreams album, he wrote Gothic Lullaby, which is, everyone loved it because it's really kind of like ethereal. It sounds like it should be on like Lord of the Rings or something. And it just throws people a bit because you do this kind of country kind of stuff. And then suddenly you've got this like classic piece in there. I just like playing with music. I just think it's so much fun. And I just love it. I mean, I couldn't imagine doing anything else now.
Brilliant. Okay, so with that in mind, obviously, what are we going to hear next?
Okay, well, I thought I'd do a stripped back version of Unbroken.
Fantastic.
I'm just going to set my headphones off again, right, so I can hear myself. Sounds weird.
My journey's been a long old road. I sometimes feel like I can breathe. I ain't ever backing down. You really need to see the real me. I don't hear your words at all. Every whisper that is spoken, I can't understand your reasons, 'cause I'm unbroken. I'm unbroken. everything is thrown right to me. All obstacles stand in my way. It's one tough quest that I've been traveling, but I'm still back another day. Oh, my wings are not broken. Maybe they're just a little torn. And as time keeps on going, I keep giving it my all. I'm unbroken. I can't hear words at all. Every whisper that is spoken, I can understand your reasons, 'cause I'm unbroken. I'm unbroken. I'm unbroken. I'm unbroken.
Fantastic. So, an inspirational song to anybody who's going through tough times. So, don't forget, everybody, go and pre-order Helena's single, Shifting Sands, which is out on the 31st. All that remains for me is to say thanks very much for doing this, and I wish you every success with the single and with the album later on in the year.
Oh, thank you so much, and back at you, because I've been listening to your stuff. I'm buying it too. It's fantastic. So thanks for the support, and I shall meet you at the festival, hopefully in July.
Yep, looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, Andy. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.